That's not a coin. This is a coin. Find out today why this coin is a coin for all of the ages and one you must add to your collection as we dive into the 1 ounce coat of arms of New South Wales here on the Culture of Currency. Before we get to today's video, I wanted to remind you that I'm giving away a very special 1 ounce Krugerrand to a lucky subscriber. It could be you. Just make sure you are subscribed and you comment on this video. Make sure it is only one comment because multiple comments per video will get you disqualified. You can, however, reply to as many comments as you like. A couple of weeks ago, I found myself scrolling through the various silver dealer websites, as I'm sure many of you do. One day, a few weeks ago, I was doing just that when this coin flashed in front of my eyes. It was love at first sight. Sometimes, however, in relationships, our eyes get us in trouble. When we rank this coin, we will find out if this is a coin that makes this house a home or just eye candy. Let's dive in. This coin is representing the coat of arms of New South Wales, which begs the question, where is Old South Wales? After my research, I found it here, and then realized that that's not how you spell Wales. I then spelled it correctly, which told me that it was here. Which makes sense, seeing as the English ended up holding Australia until its independence in 1901, which is the same year as my Morgan dollar. It is fairly customary to see newly claimed area to be named after rulers or geographical areas of the settlers' hometowns. Some examples of this would be New Amsterdam, which is known now as New York, so that's kind of a double example, New Jersey, New Delhi, and New Asgard, to name a few. New South Wales is located on the west side of Australia and constitutes most notably Sydney, which is the capital. I will say a quick shout out. For those of you who are praying people, please pray for the people of South Wales because right now they are dealing with really bad flooding. The history of this land is like much of Australia and dates back to the breaking away of Pangaea before most mammals were walking around, which is why the mammals that are here are so unique. Some are marsupials and some lay eggs. Speaking of odd ducks, the platypus is a great example of a mammal that kind of did its own evolutionary thing. This is one of these monotremes that lay eggs and also has a poisonous claw. If you're not familiar with kind of the geography of Australia, the easiest way to think about it for me is beautiful on the outer areas, hot and dry, but still kind of beautiful on the inside with some exceptions. And no matter where you are, some animal near you has the capacity to put you in the hospital, even the cute ones. But the people are just fantastic, and if you are a nature or culture lover, this land offers so much to enjoy. Now that we've touched where this coin hails from, let's dive onto our scale. On the front of this fantastic coin, we have a small profile of Her Majesty. I repeat, a small profile of Her Majesty. It brings me such happiness to say that, as we all know it would have been a travesty if we would have been robbed of this image by having the Queen's face over the entire front. We have the lion at attention with eyes fixed on the viewer, and most notably the claws are extended, which is a little odd seeing as a feline's claws retract involuntary, and it's a voluntary action to bring them out, whereas dogs do not have to retract, they stay out all the time. I'm not sure why the claws are out on this lion, but maybe it's the speak softly and carry a big stick idea. We have 8 Tudor roses, which are actually a combination of 2 roses, the red rose of Lancaster and the white rose of York. These 2 roses symbolize the peace between the 2 families and the unification of England under one banner. If you're Italian, maybe it's like the Romeo and Juliet, the Montagues and the Capulets. If you're American, maybe it's the Hatfields and the McCoys. Same idea. In the background, we have the English cross, but we also have many of the stars of the Southern Cross constellation that are present in the night sky in Australia and on their flag. The weight and purity are here on the front, and there is a beautiful little sonnet. I assume it's a sonnet, I really don't know. Newly risen, how brightly you shine, which I think is poetic and poignant. This is an outstanding front and it scores a 10. Now let's go on a walkabout to the reverse of the coin. There are so many great elements that play together. We start at the bottom with the cascading sun. We have various floral notes that denote the representative floral emblems of each Australian state. We also have a pair of merino sheep, which were perfected in Australia and comprise roughly 50% of the sheep population of that nation. Many fine wool products in the textile industry prize merino wool. In fact, yesterday I was looking for suits, and what do you know? They had a merino wool suit. The star of the show is the amazing artistic rendition of the kangaroo, gazing west as it holds a shield that has the $1 denotation. This is such a balanced and fine-tuned coin. It is beautiful and it is a perfect 10. Mintage is our next category. We have a pretty good mintage number for collectors of 50,000. That means it's high enough to find one still, but it also will probably be more rare in the coming years. It's not extremely low, but it's not in a bad place, so 50,000 scores an 8. The copious amounts of cultural significance have been addressed, and I can say that there are nations outside of English coins that have a coat of arms on one side and a queen on the other side. This is always a detraction, as only half the coin is significant to the culture of that land. Our coin today, however, has just about as high of a reference as you could ask, as the coat of arms is on the entire front and culture is on the entire back. This scores a 10. Collectability is where our next area to grade lies. This is an Australian coin, which means it already is synonymous with quality. It has a relatively low mintage and has what I believe to be an outstanding representation artistically. It is the second in a series, which reminds me, if any of you have last year's coin from this series and are feeling generous enough to donate one to my channel, I would be forever grateful. This is a very collectible coin and scores a 9. Uniqueness, as always, is our last category. We've had coins with elements of this coin, but nothing anywhere near as specific as this coin. We've seen coats of arms, yes. Have we seen this coat of arms before? No. Will we see them again? Seeing as that this is an ever-changing series, I doubt it, unless they just rotate it like you would a lunar series. So it scores a 9. This brings our total to a very high 56 out of 60. This coin is true love for collectors. It has a little bit of everything that makes a great coin. It gets my highest marks and may be one of my best coins of the year. You really should consider getting this coin while you can, as I believe this series may be even cooler in the long run than the Queen's Beast. I am envious as an American of the quality and quantity of different Australian coins. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with my assessment, and as always, thank you for watching, and remember to stay classy and current with the culture of currency.